The last stretch of games before playoff starts today here at Stony Brook Field. Welcome into Pregame Tomahawk Talk. I'm Ariel Pinski, joined by Lyle Allenstein. Lyle, we're playing the Whitecaps tonight. We haven't been here at Stony Brook Field since June 17th.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. 4-3 loss for the Braves. Alex Valentine was pitching. Braves, he kind of struggled a bit. Braves had some struggles in the field as well, a couple of errors all around. Noah Franco hit a home run, but it's been a mixed bag against Brewster this year. That was a close one, second time out. Braves got mercied in the seventh at Doran Park, 14 loss. Next time out, back at Doran Park, Braves played a much better game, complete game, 7-2 win, and that's what kind of even the series up at 2-2 this one.
Well, we have 6 more games until playoffs start, and you talked to field manager Scott Landers after our last game against Chatham on Sunday. What is he saying? What is he thinking going into playoffs?
Yeah, that was a long stretch last week, 7 games in a row, because we lost that game on that off day. But it was a mixed bag for the Braves as well, strung together 2 straight wins to end it off, but then you had a couple of losses mixed in with a tie against YD. A bit of inconsistencies all around, some highs, some lows with the pitching. You look at the relief pitching in particular, some issues there, but then bounce back later on the week. Same with the hitting, some streaky things. But then also a couple of games where you featured a lot of big innings. Braves and Brewster both in comfortable playoff spots right now. Braves are in second, Brewster's in third. With this last stretch, a couple more wins for them could each help them out, but the Braves want to get sure they get one today.
Well, thanks for joining me, Lyle. We'll have first pitch here today at 4 p.m., a little bit of an earlier start against the Whitecaps. Continuing with pregame coverage, I'm now joined by Adam Gawkin and Devin Jarvis. Adam, final stretch of games before playoffs. We got to clinch that spot.
Yeah, just 6 games to go. And for Bourne, what they have to do to make the playoffs is pretty simple. It's win 3 and not worry about anything else. The magic number is 3 right now. So if Bourne just wins half of its remaining games, then it is in. They also, can look around the league and look at Falmouth. If Falmouth loses 1 and Bourne wins 2, any combination of 3, Bourne clinches a playoff spot. And considering how the Bourne Braves have been playing recently, we expect that to continue. This team right now is at the exact same record that they were at last year, 34 games in, and then they won 5 out of 6 to end the season. So Bourne, usually good at ending strong. They've ended strong so far, so just need to continue what they're doing, and a playoff spot should be pretty easy to come by.
Well, for tonight's game, we have Vanderbilt's Matthew Shorey on the mound. What can we expect from him tonight?
Well, Matthew Shorey's been the best starter, plain and simple, for Bourne this season. A 2.22 ERA in 21 2/3 innings pitched. He's been just phenomenal, has really high highs, and has not really exploded in any game for Bourne. When Matt Shorey's on the mound for the Braves are in it as long as the offense shows up, and that's what really special. This Brewster team, however, 10-5 against West Division opponents, surely could be a tough team for Bourne to beat. Really high-powered offense, and Bourne has got to come out behind Matt Shorey and show out and get another win.
Yeah, you mentioned it right there. Of course, we want to see a strong performance from Matthew Shorey, but we need to see it from the rest of the bullpen too.
Yeah, absolutely. The end of last week, the bullpen really struggled from Wednesday to Friday. The pitching staff gave up almost 30 runs. They then countered that with a really solid weekend performance, winning those games on Saturday and Sunday because of how good the pitching staff and the bullpen was. So they have to get back to that weekend performance, and if they do that, then they really set a good tone going into this final week and going into the playoffs.
Well, an early game tonight here at Stony Brook Field for a 4 p.m. first pitch. Ariel Pinski now joined by field manager Scott Landers. Coach, we're headed into the final stretch of the season. You're coming off 7 games straight. How would you evaluate last week?
Up and down. We started off well, then we had a little cold streak in the middle, and then we bounced back the last 2 games. But we just got to keep it going. We're, in the grind now and at the end, and we got to push through that. It was overall a pretty good 7-game stretch. We were exhausted. We needed that day off, but now we got to get going.
Yeah, and you mentioned it a little bit of ups and downs with the hitting and the pitching. What does this team need to do to play a complete baseball game in this final stretch?
Yeah, I just think they got to do their job when they're called upon, whether it's on the mound or they're in the starting lineup, and just be consistent through the next 6 games and then going into the playoffs.
And this is your 4th season with this team. We had the organization dinner last night. How cool is it kind of see everyone come together for the sole cause of baseball?
I mean, it's a good time of the year because now, these games really mean something. Not that the other ones didn't. They did, but all the guys that are coming in and out, that's finally pretty much done, and this is the team we're going to roll with through the playoffs. So hopefully it's a good one, and, they're upbeat, so to speak, today, even though it's hot out, but I'm looking forward to it.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck tonight.
Appreciate it.